As Mark 8:36 says, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?" The CEO of OF just lost his battle with cancer. And all of the money that he had made from founding OF did not help him to beat that, right? He couldn't take the money that he made with him. And the only thing that he could possibly take with him, which is his soul, I'm pretty sure that he lost it whenever he founded that website. And, well, I cannot even say rest in peace, because I'm pretty sure if he didn't know Jesus, he is definitely not going to be resting in peace. But that's between him and God. What I wanted to say with this is that the most valuable thing that we have is not our money, you guessed that, but it's not even our time, it's our soul. Because after you die, it's the only thing that you get to keep. You doing anything that makes you sacrifice your values, your principles, and your faith is never going to turn out well for you. Is that a threat? Absolutely not. You do whatever you want. But what I wanted to say with this is that not all money is good money. Your intentions should be to do good, right? And I'm not saying to do good in a global scale. Not everyone is capable of doing that, and not everyone wants to do that. But at least the few people that you have around you, you should be striving to help them. And you're going to encounter that very, very quickly. Most people don't want help. They really don't. Most of the times, they want to complain. They want someone to talk to that listens to them. And they don't really want to, have someone lecture them about how they should be doing this and this and this. In the age of AI, everyone knows what they should be doing. But when you are around someone and you are a walking example of all of the good habits that you do on a daily basis, that person has no choice but to embody at least one of those good habits. Which is why you shouldn't be going around and telling everyone what is that you're doing that is so nice, or this great goal that you're trying to achieve, right? The only thing that you should be doing is leading by example. This is the only thing that is going to allow you to influence as many people as possible towards the good side. And this is part of the reason why I don't really ever see myself stopping medical school. Because if there is one thing that it is going to help me to do, is to have more influence. Because, of course, and as badly as it sounds, it's true. If a doctor tells you something that you should do with your body, you tend to listen to them more than if your dad tells you that, right? Or if a random tells you that. Why is that? Because you assume that they are right, which, as you already know, is not always the case. But we are living in reality, so we need to operate on reality's spectrum. Of course, it would be ideal that it isn't like that, but it is. So we are given a deck, and whatever we do with those cards is going to be our future. If my goal is to help as many people as possible live a life that they are not going to regret, that starts in the body. Everyone knows what they should be doing with their body, but nobody does it. And then, how to ensure that you have a fruitful life after your life on here, it is all done in your soul. And that is also something that you cannot neglect. Simply look at Every single one, okay? Whether you believe or not, look at every single person that just forgot that side of them completely. What does their life look like? Obesity, depression, a job that they hate, falling marriage, which is actually where those 50% of divorces come from, right? If you don't have a point in marriage, that's just a relationship. And relationships end. But do not let man separate what God has put together. That seems to have been forgotten. So I'm not surprised about the 50%. But what I'm trying to say is that you might see that 50% and you might be scared to get married. Of course, I would be scared too. 50% literally means I'm playing flip coin with my future. But if you put God in your marriage, your success rate is 100%. Because two people that know what is written in here are going to know that you cannot simply walk out and disrespect your partner for any given reason. So you are guaranteed, if you listen to what he said, you are guaranteed to have a fruitful and successful marriage. There is not really another way to do that, right? And of course, right, you might be lucky and you might do that on your own and have a very fruitful marriage. Of course. And I wish you that. But I don't want to play games with my life, right? So the most logical choice is to just go with the guaranteed success. But it's up to you. Everything that I was trying to say here is that your principles and your values are never, ever going to be worth getting millions and millions of dollars or euros for anything. You need to really understand that. Sometimes you might be working on something and you might be tempted to just screw someone over for a couple of bucks. That stuff is ultimately going to come back and bite you. If you ask a friend for him to borrow you some money and you don't give it back, it's kind of the same thing. How can you look at yourself in the mirror and say that you are someone with values and principles if you do slimy stuff like that? It doesn't work. It would be much better for you to just go out and be homeless, but keep your integrity, than to just be the richest person on this planet and screw every single person that you meet on the way to the top. Because that fall is going to be extremely, extremely painful. And I don't believe it's worth it.